So I made one mistake with Shopify Dropshipping and it cost me over $77,000. I'm not gonna lie, Shopify Dropshipping has got to be one of the most challenging online businesses that I've ever started. And there's one big reason for that. Facebook ads. And when I first started with Shopify Dropshipping, I thought that honestly, it would be very easy. I thought it would be very simple. I thought that, okay, boom, you can just get a product up and running, throw up some Facebook ads, and then you're done. It's gonna sell and you will become profitable. And I also had a lot of e-commerce experience before that. And so I thought that, okay, well then if anything, it's gonna be easier for me. And when I first started with Shopify Dropshipping, I thought that for me, it would be very easy because I already had prior e-commerce experience. I was already very successful at selling on Amazon FBA, also an e-commerce income stream. So if anything, for me, I'm like, okay, boom, choose a product, do some product research, throw up some Facebook ads, let's go. And that definitely wasn't the case. And although it sounds very, very negative, in reality, Shopify Dropshipping is one of the best businesses that I've ever started in my entire life. And there's many reasons for that. Literally anybody in the world right now where you're watching, you can go start a product and literally put it up on a website, install Shopify on it, make it beautiful, create some awesome video ads, and then bam, run some Facebook ads and actually make money. And obviously it sounds a lot easier than it actually is. But the most important thing is that you have to have the right information. You have to have the correct information if you want to successfully sell on Shopify, if you want to successfully dropship products from AliExpress, from Alibaba, wherever it is, you need to have the correct information that is already making millions of people out there successful with dropshipping. And let's talk about it. The very first mistake that I made with dropshipping, that was an ultimate killer because I lost $77,000 with it. That was not following the right information on how to run Facebook ads. When I first started with Shopify Dropshipping, the very first thing that I knew that I had to learn was how to run actual profitable Facebook ads. Nobody out there had any course on it. Nobody out there was actually teaching the right information. So what I had to do, actually learn how to do it myself. And although I did have previous Facebook ads experience on how to run Facebook ads for Amazon products, it's completely different than taking a brand from zero on Shopify and then scaling it up to 6 and 7 figures. When I started with Shopify Dropshipping, I started running some very simple ads and I was following information on YouTube, like, just target just random interests and try to find the best interest. They were always teaching, try to find the best interest because that's all that matters, right? And they weren't talking about how to make your actual video ads amazing, how to make them, captivating, how to actually put scroll stoppers in your ads. And also nobody was talking about the fact that you actually have to sell a product that has a wow factor, something that provides a ton of value to people around the world in a particular target market. It seemed like everybody at the time was just talking about dropshipping these random, weird Shopify products, copy pasting off AliExpress, using Oberlo, and just slapping it onto a general store. You guys have heard that, right? General store. And that's actually going to move on to mistake number 2 or 3. I'm going to talk about that. That's a killer one as well that you absolutely should not follow. And yeah, I lost a ton of money on Facebook ads, on running incorrect Facebook ads because nobody out there was teaching how to actually do it. At one point, I was literally down $77,000 and I was wondering to myself, how am I going to make this back, right? I need to learn how to make Facebook ads properly. And that's when I realized that I can use the fact that I just spent $77,000 on, taking all the information there, learning from the mistakes, and then actually, doing it properly. And at that moment where I saw negative $77,000 on my ads, I realized that there's a reason why there is not actual good Facebook ads information out there. There aren't any good videos out there on Facebook ads, and anybody who claims that they know how to run Facebook ads, they're probably wrong and they're probably just lying, because in reality, if you right now knew how to run a profitable Facebook ad, then all your financial worries would be solved, because you could go take any product out there and you could go and dropship it profitably. You could go right after this video, set up a store in a few hours, get some ads going that you record yourself, and if you know how to actually, create ads that convert, if you understand the algorithm, then you can go and literally put in $1 into a money machine and take out $2 or $3 or even $5. And so I knew at the time that if I can just learn this one skill, Facebook ads, and how to properly run them, how to properly run paid traffic, I could become a winner at Shopify Dropshipping, and I could spread the actual real knowledge. I could spread the word. And that's exactly what I've been doing on my YouTube channel here. So make sure that when you're just starting to run Facebook ads, that you're following the correct information, and always ask yourself, is this really true? And let me test it at a low enough budget to make sure that I don't lose a ton of money on something that somebody out there is just saying works, right? After learning from those mistakes and actually figuring out how to run profitable Facebook ads and mastering it, becoming a master at running paid traffic, I went ahead and created a bunch of amazing Facebook ad videos that you can go and watch right after this video. But make sure you stick to the end to hear all the rest of the mistakes, because trust me, almost every single beginner makes them with Shopify. Mistake number 2, thinking that copying and pasting a product off of AliExpress and then using Oberlo to just go and paste it onto my, general Shopify store, thinking that that's starting a real business when it's not. And what everybody else is teaching on YouTube, what everybody else is talking about, when I came into Shopify, I knew that that wasn't the right way to do business. But I had to first apply the things that were being taught by all the other YouTubers, by everybody else out there, and by all the courses out there, and I had to see for myself how I can improve on it. And so that's exactly what I did. I put it to the test, and obviously I got terrible results. The problem with the way most YouTubers and most courses out there teach Shopify dropshipping is you start a general store, and then you go and test a bunch of products that you find on AliExpress, or maybe even Alibaba. Actually, nobody was teaching Alibaba before I came into it. That's the trick that I found out was so much better at finding amazing suppliers. Nobody was teaching that. And I thought to myself, this can't be, like, you just can't start a real business like this where you're gonna make people wait 2 to 3 weeks to get shipping on the Shopify product, right? Because that's what everybody else was teaching, e-packet dropshipping, which basically means 2 to 3 weeks shipping at the best, and at the worst, customers don't even get their order. And there was never a mention of any kind of logo, any kind of branding, right? The general kind of consensus was like, yeah, you can go and start a Shopify store, you can find a product off AliExpress, you can capitalize on a trend, make a bunch of money, and then kind of get out, right? And just think about it, that's total BS. It's not true. I knew for myself, from my own Amazon FBA experience, right? Amazon FBA, if you're not familiar, is where we private label a product. So we take a product and we put our logo on it, actually create a brand with a brand vision, with a brand mission, all that kind of stuff that goes into a brand, just like Apple with their iPhones, just like Nike with their shoes, right? I applied that philosophy to Shopify, and that's exactly what I did. I figured out how to actually dropship the right way with a logo, by putting a logo on your product because that's what differentiates you, and also by offering fast 2 to 3 day shipping with fulfillment centers after you initially have gone through the dropshipping process, after you already know that your product is a winner. So that's mistake number 2. Don't just assume that copying and pasting a product off of AliExpress onto a weird dropshipping store and making customers wait months for shipping is going to give you the financial freedom that you're looking for, and is going to be that passive income business that will give you the freedom lifestyle. It's not. And this leads us to mistake number 3, general stores. Everybody else was talking about general stores. Everybody else was talking about how, like, that's the absolute best way to make money with Shopify. And I realized very, very quickly after running my own testing and on my own first stores, it's so stupid. Why would you go and just, start a random store knowing that it won't be super successful, because that's just a store that you have there that you're testing products on. Finding successful products on Shopify is not difficult at all. What was difficult was understanding the marketing, understanding how to run the right Facebook ads, understanding how to put a logo on the product, and how to create a real brand. And that's when the one product dropshipping store came in. That's when I saw all of my success with Shopify. I came into it and I implemented everything that I knew with Amazon private labeling, and that's what I did. And I did over $1 million in only 3 months with my Shopify product. And it was a one product dropshipping store. It was actually 2 products. The first one was responsible for most of the sales, and then the second one was like a complementary product that sold here and there. With a one product store, when you're advertising, it's very obvious what you're advertising for, and you're making it very clear what you're selling, what your brand is. And whenever somebody's going to be talking and telling their friends about your brand, because obviously we want them to be happy, we want to actually give value to customers, we don't want to fool them into buying our cheap AliExpress products that they can just buy off of AliExpress, right, for like $2 and wait 3 months for shipping. That's not the goal here. The goal is to actually create a brand that stands for something, and that's what I did. And that's how I did $1 million in another 3 months, and over, I think it was 250,000 in 1 month. And that brings me to mistake number 4, investing into a product or products with not enough of a margin for Facebook ads and for other ads. One of the things that I didn't realize early on in my dropshipping journey is that I can't just go and invest into a product that I can only sell at $30. Then that only leaves me, let's say if it costs me about $15 with the product shipping and everything like that to get the product to the customer's house, I realized that, okay, that only leaves me about $15 for Facebook ads. When I was just first getting started with Facebook ads, that takes a genius to become profitable on that, right? And if we assume that 33%, which I found to be the best number, will be taken up by Facebook ads if you're running Facebook ads, then obviously that leaves us less than like $10 or $5 for ads, which is really nothing. It makes much more sense to invest into a product that I can sell at $100 or $200, and I can really build a brand, and I can give the value that supports that backs that gives the customer a reason to go and pay that, right? It's all about perceived value with online business. I found that that's the biggest secret, is offering enough perceived value. It was very clear to me that left me over $150 for Facebook ads, and even if I did make some mistakes with my ads, which you probably will make when you're just starting out, especially if you're not following the right information, that leaves you more enough of a margin where you can still make profit and still make mistakes and learn along the way. Now the next one, and this one is a very devastating mistake too for anybody starting out with Shopify dropshipping, and that is assuming that you're just going to make all your money on the front end and forgetting completely about the back end. What I didn't realize about Shopify is that there is something called the front end and the back end. And what that basically means is that I thought that I could go and create ads, create a beautiful looking store, and make all the money on the ads. You've heard of all those people, all those influencers showing their ad accounts, and they're talking about how they're putting in $200 into Facebook ads and making back like $500 500 or 1,000, right? And they're saying that that's on the front end, which means that that's just the money right away that they're getting in their pocket. And in reality, what I didn't realize was, in fact, there is more money to be made on the back end, which is like creating an amazing email sequence that gets sent to the customer to remind them of future promotions, to remind them of future discounts, right? So that's just one example. I also did SMS marketing with this amazing app called SMS Bump, where I got like an 8,000 or 9,000% ROI, which is insane. And how that worked was whenever somebody would go on my page and they would add to cart, and then they would say, I'm gonna think about it. With SMS Bump, it would go and rescue that sale by offering them like a 20% off coupon. So I didn't realize how important it is to build your backend, build an amazing email sequence, build an amazing SMS text message sequence, and also increasing your average order value, which is your AOV. It's a very important metric in Shopify, and you can do that by adding more products, upselling them, downselling them, cross sells, upsells. These are all so important, and they're incredibly important parts of the backend. Some of the best apps that literally saved my backend were Klaviyo email marketing, which is where I set up an amazing email sequence, and I share that in the Shopify Freedom course, which is currently closed. By the time you're watching this, might be open again, I don't know. But Klaviyo email marketing, huge. Install that on your store. It's an amazing app. SMS Bump for text messages, discounted pricing, where you can set up an automatic discount to be applied on your product. Let's say, if people want to buy 2, they get like a 10% off discount, 3, 15% off, 4, 20% off, which was huge, and that really made me a lot more money on my store. Zipify one-click upsells, that's an amazing one as well. Highly recommend that one, where you can go and you can upsell someone after they've purchased it, so that if they're like about to check out, they don't get hit with like this hard sell saying like, hey, buy the second product at this price. That turns off a lot of people potentially from buying your product. So it hits them after they've already completed checkout. And mistake number 5 is copying other people's ads and strategies. At the time when I was first starting with Shopify, I was seeing for my product that I was considering actually starting, I knew there was a lot of potential in it because I saw one huge competitor who was selling extremely well with it. And by extremely well, I mean like $100,000, $200,000 a month in profit. What I assumed was that since I was just learning Shopify, I could go copy their strategies, copy their ads, and then try them on my own store. And that's exactly what I did. But what I didn't realize was that so many of their customers hated them because they actually had a clause in their terms of service saying that, hey, you can't get a refund if you buy a discounted product from us. And they already had a discount, a permanent discount running on their store. So I thought to myself, damn, that's crazy, right? Like, I absolutely cannot do that. And I'm literally copying a store right now and its strategies and its ads, a store that is, fooling so many people out there. This is not the way to build a real business. So what I did was I said, screw it. I'm developing my own strategy. I'm developing my own brand. And that's when everything took off for me. That's when my ROAS, my return on ad spend went up like crazy. That's when everything blew up for me. And I also started adding new products that they weren't adding. So I went above and beyond. And so my advice to you is, just because someone is doing it out there and they're successful, don't copy them. There's an amazing quote by Picasso called, good men copy, but great men steal. So instead of just straight copying, and assuming they're going to make money, steal what they're doing correctly and 10x, improve on it drastically. So like I said at the very beginning, one of the hardest things with Shopify, if not the hardest, is learning how to run profitable paid traffic, how to take a customer that doesn't know about your brand, about your product, and then convert them on your store and get them to purchase and get them to be a repeat buyer and get them to be a loyal fan of your brand. That's the hardest thing. So that's why I decided to make an amazing video about $10 Facebook ads, which is my strategy. It's actually one of my strategies that I've personally developed on how to go and launch a product from 0 to 6 figures with $10 Facebook ads. And this is perfect for someone who's just starting out there. If you're just starting out there with a small starting budget, then I highly recommend you go watch it. Link is going to be right up here, and it's a free YouTube video. You can go and check it out.